Oh, hi. Oh, welcome to StoryTown. I was just sitting here reading my book and hoping that you might join me today. I'm Mr. Tom, and I will meet you here every week at the St. Johnsbury Athenaeum, and we'll share some stories and we'll have a little bit of fun together. The library here is a great place for stories. It's so peaceful. Do you like stories? Yeah, I do too. All kinds of stories. I like happy stories and funny stories and even sad stories because sometimes, they can help me to understand maybe why I'm feeling sad and what I can do about it. Do you ever feel sad? Yeah, I guess everybody does sometimes. But a story can help to make you feel better. There's animal stories and adventure stories, and I even like scary stories because sometimes it's kind of fun to be scared. Well, as long as you know that nothing bad is really going to happen. Hey, would you like to see the book that I'm reading? Yeah? Okay, don't worry, it's not scary. It's called Max's Words. Would you like me to read it to you? Yeah? Okay, great. Well, come on, get closer and we'll read it together. Max's Words by Kate Banks. Pictures by Boris Kulikov. Max's brother Benjamin collected stamps. He had stamps of many colors and sizes. They had ragged edges and sticky backs. Some had famous people on them. Others had places or buildings or flowers or trees. Benjamin spread his stamp collection across his desk. He showed it to his friends and family. Everyone admired it. Max said, "Can I have a stamp?" "No," said Benjamin. Max's other brother, Carl, collected coins. He had coins of many sizes and values. They came from different countries. Some were silver-colored with rough edges. Others were copper-colored with smooth edges. They were all shiny. They had people and buildings on them and the year in which they were made. When Carl showed them around, everyone admired them too. Max said, "Can I have a coin?" "No," said Carl. Max wanted to collect something, but he wasn't sure what. He gave it some thought. Finally he said, "I'm going to collect words." "Words?" said Benjamin. He laughed. "Very funny, Max," said Carl. Max began collecting small words. A, the, it's, an, ate, who, to, and, but, was, in, on, out, big, see, you, day. He cut them out of magazines and newspapers, and he spread them across his desk. Pretty soon Max found bigger words: hungry, asked, through, alligator, crocodile, hissed. He cut them out and added them to the others. Max's collection grew rapidly. Max collected words that made him feel good: park, baseball, dogs, hugs. He collected words of things he liked to eat: bananas, pancakes, ice cream. He collected words that were spoken to him: good morning, goodbye, go away. He collected his favorite colors: green, blue, brown. Max opened the dictionary and found words he did not know. He copied these on small slips of paper: slithered, iguana. "What are you doing, Max?" asked Benjamin. "Let me see," said Carl. Max's collection grew too big for his desk, so he spread out his words on the floor. He separated them into neat piles. When Benjamin and Carl arranged their collections in different orders, it didn't make much difference. But when Max put his words in different orders, it made a big difference. A blue crocodile ate the green iguana. The blue iguana ate a green crocodile. Soon Max's collection of words spread into the hallway. Sometimes Max gave away a word or two. "See you later, alligator. Have a nice day." When Benjamin put his stamps together, he had just a bunch of stamps. When Carl put his coins together, he had just a pile of money. But when Max put his words together, he had a thought. Maybe I could trade a word for a stamp or a coin. Please? No, said Benjamin. No, said Carl. I've got 1,000 stamps, said Benjamin. When I get a few more coins, I'll have nearly 500, said Carl. And when I have a few more words, I'll have a story, said Max. A story takes a lot of words, said Benjamin. I know, said Max. You don't have enough, said Carl. Let's see, said Max. Max sorted through his words. He picked out a few and began arranging them on the floor. Once there was a little brown worm who wished to be a big green snake. Benjamin and Carl stopped what they were doing and came over to look. Max continued his story. The worm slithered through the grass. It stuck out its tongue and hissed loudly. Hiss. Max stopped to choose some more words. Benjamin butted in. Then along came a big, mean, green crocodile. Then it was Carl's turn. I'm hungry, it said. Benjamin grinned. He chose a few more words. The crocodile opened its mouth wide and... Carl scrambled for more words. He wanted the crocodile to eat the worm, but Max was quicker. The little brown worm darted down a hole, glad to be a worm. Hey, I want another story, said Benjamin. So do I, said Carl. And I want a stamp and a coin, Max reminded them. Oh, all right, said Benjamin. He gave Max a stamp. Carl gave Max a coin. And Max gave them each some words and kept the rest for himself. Once there was a big brown dog. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed Max's words. Oh, I brought something to show you today. Let me get it. This is my puppet. His name is Rockin' Randy. And the reason I called him Rockin' Randy is because I think he looks like a rock star, don't you? He's got the black leather jacket. He's got the hipster black glasses, the pink hair. So I think he looks like he's ready to rock and roll. Would you like me to show you how to make him talk? All right. Well, it's pretty easy with a little practice. First of all, puppets aren't real, right? We can pretend that they're real. We can make them talk and we can play with them, but they're not real. So Rockin' Randy has this little hole, right, in his bottom here. And I can put my hand up inside there, and my fingers go around his lips. And then I can move my hand to make his mouth move. So I always start with his mouth closed, because that's what we do. We don't stand around with our mouths open like this, right? We start with our mouths closed, and then we speak. And I learned how to make Randy talk by practicing the ABCs, like this. A, B, C, D, E, like that. And I move his head just a little bit because when we talk to people, we move our heads. Sometimes we might tip him one way or we might lean in a little bit. So I do that with Randy too. A, B, C, D, E, like that. So let me show you how to do it. I used to practice in the mirror, in front of the mirror, and I'd hold my hand like this because this is how it looks inside the puppet. And I would say A, B, C, like that. D. You can try it with me. Let's do the ABCs together. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Let's do it a little faster. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And you can practice doing that until you get comfortable with it. And then you can have, if you have your own puppet, you can make your own puppet, and then you can practice. So let's sing the ABCs together, shall we? Okay, are you ready? Are you ready, Randy? Yeah, sure. Oh, Randy, I want to introduce you to all the kids in the daycare centers. Are they friendly? Oh, yeah, they're very friendly. Hi, kids. You want to sing the ABC song for him? Oh, I'd love to. Are you ready? Let's sing. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? How was that? That was really good. Thank you. So, that's all there is to it, really. You can practice. I'm going to put Rocking Randy, I'm going to put you away now, okay? Oh, really? Yeah, I'm sorry. Got to move on. Okay. But we'll have him back again another time. All right. Bye, kids. So you can practice. A, B, C. Okay. Would you like another story? Yeah. Okay, good. I've got a good one here. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It's the Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lessmore. Can I read it to you? Great. Let's check it out. The Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lessmore. Written by William Joyce. Illustrated by William Joyce and Joe Bloom. Morris Lessmore loved words. He loved stories. He loved books. His life was a book of his own writing, one orderly page after another. He would open it every morning and write of his joys and sorrows, of all that he knew and everything that he hoped for. But every story has its upsets. One day, the sky darkened. The winds blew and blew, till everything Morris knew was scattered, even the words of his book. He didn't know what to do or which way to go. So he began to wander and wander. Then a happy bit of happenstance came his way. Rather than looking down, as had become his habit, Morris Lessmore looked up. Drifting through the sky above him, Morris saw a lovely lady. She was being pulled along by a festive squadron of flying books. Morris wondered if his book could fly. But it couldn't. It would only fall to the ground with a depressing thud. The flying lady knew Morris simply needed a good story, so she sent him her favorite. The book was an amiable fellow and urged Morris to follow him. The book led him to an extraordinary building where many books apparently nested. Morris slowly walked inside and discovered the most mysterious and inviting room he had ever seen. It was filled with the fluttering of countless pages, and Morris could hear the faint chatter of 1,000 different stories, as if each book was whispering an invitation to adventure. Then his new friend flew up to him and landed on his arm. It held itself open, as if hoping to be read. The room rustled to life. And so, Morris's life among the books began. Morris tried to keep the books in some sort of order, but they always mixed themselves up. The tragedies needed cheering up and would visit with the comedies. The encyclopedias, weary of facts, would relax with the comic books and fictions. All in all, it was an agreeable jumble. Morris found great satisfaction in caring for the books, gently fixing those with fragile bindings and unfolding the dog-eared pages of others. Sometimes Morris would become lost in a book and scarcely emerge for days. Morris liked to share the books with others. Sometimes it was a favorite that everyone loved, and other times he found a lonely little volume whose tale was seldom told. "Everyone's story matters," said Morris, and all the books agreed. At night, after all the stories that needed telling had been told, and everyone had settled down to their proper places on the shelves, the great big dictionary would get in the last word. It was then that Morris Lessmore would once again write in his own book. He wrote of his joys and sorrows, of all that he knew and everything that he hoped for. The days passed. So did the months. And then years and years. And Morris Lessmore became stooped and crinkly. But the books never changed. Their stories stayed the same. Now his old friends took care of him the way he had once cared for them, and they read themselves to him each night. Then one day he filled the last page in his book. He looked up and said with a bittersweet sigh, "I guess it's time for me to move on." The books were sorry, but they understood. Morris put on his hat and took his cane. As he went to the door, he turned and smiled, then waved goodbye. "I'll carry you all in here," he said, and pointed to his heart. The books waved their pages, and Morris Lessmore flew away. And as he flew, he changed back to the way he'd been that long ago day when they'd all first met. The books were quiet for a while. Then they noticed that Morris Lessmore had left something behind. "It's his book," said his oldest friend. Inside was Morris's story, all of his joys and sorrows, all that he knew and everything that he hoped for. Then the books heard a small, expectant sound. There in the doorway was a little girl. She looked around with wonder. Then something fantastic happened. Morris Lessmore's book flew up to her and opened its pages. The girl began to read. And so our story ends as it began, with the opening of a book. And there you have it. Thanks for joining me here today. I had a really good time. I hope you did too. I hope you enjoyed the stories, and I hope you'll read some of the books that I've sent along in our book bag, and I'll see you again next week. Don't forget, I'm Mr. Tom. I'll see you right here at StoryTown. Bye-bye. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I keep a story in my pocket and a story in my shoe. Nothing beats a story when you get to feeling blue. So slide up close beside me and I'll spin one just for you. I bet I can make you smile in a minute or two. Come on down to StoryTown, bring along a friend. We'll keep you entertained, on that you can depend. We might not stretch the truth,
but we're bound to make it bend. Oh, come on down to StoryTown, where the stories never end. I said, come on down to StoryTown, where the stories never end.